Welcome to CarePod, a safe place to educate, inspire, and renew the caregiver. Listen in with our host, Dr. Kibli Bell, as she interviews different experts along the caregiving journey.
So today I am here with the Managing Director of Hovi Care Bali, Trisna, who is joining me to have a discussion about the international ways in which we are similar and different in how we revere our aging loved ones. So thankful to have you join me today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Most welcome.
Yes. So I ask every one of my guests there why I read that you got into this space, essentially having so much managerial and hospitality experience. But I'm specifically curious on how you entreed into the specific niche in caring for the older adult person.
Yeah, actually, I was in hospitality industry for more than 3 decades. And I was at the point where I want to continue to really basically works at my best ability and contribute to the industry that may be a little bit different now because I'm still, of course, a hospitality person at heart, but I really want to try another industry, which is close also to like what Bali has now. I mean, the government is really looking into medical tourism, and I mean, it's kind of merging the two industry, health and hospitality. So there is one opportunity open actually. What the group of Kasih Ibu. So there's one hospital group in Bali. They have 4 hospitals in all over Bali, and this group is actually have this, let's say, several center of excellence, meaning different business unit, which is still very much related to health, but not necessarily hospital itself. So one of it is Hovi Care. Hovi Care is actually have its root in Finland. So they've been there for 35 years, their first nursing home, and they are cooperating with Kasih Ibu Group to open the first elderly facility, premium elderly facility in Bali. They have expanded actually into Singapore first, and then Indonesia/Bali. So it was an opening for me, and I met the owner and president director, and I just really think that, okay, I can continue to really learn something interesting, not very far actually from hospitality at one point, I mean, eventually. And then, of course, like you said, management background and all. And also because I think I have this, the first question from our president director is also, do you really have a passion towards our elderly? And I would say in Bali, I mean, again, Bali culture, as you know, we have our aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, everybody on the same, let's say, compound in the village, especially, for example, you have all grandpas, uncles, aunties and all. And a lot of households actually have 3 generations. The grandparents, parents, and the children, even the adult children. So yeah, I have my grandmas, grandparents, and all those from both sides of my mom and my father. And I always have that, I don't know, it's like a lot of compassion towards them. And yeah, I said, yes, I do have it. But then, of course, this is a totally different kind of industry, but everything can be learned. So yeah, so it was, now is my 2nd year, actually, managing the care Bali. And it's very interesting. And I indeed find the patient is there to give care, give the best quality of life for the elderly clients of ours.
So I find it very interesting. I'm of Antiguan heritage, and so I grew up in multi-generational households. The way of life is extreme respect for our aging loved ones, etc. So I find it interesting culturally that this is an initiative. So how are the Indonesian people embracing the concept of elder care, if you will, in terms of facility or communal living and care versus taking care of one's own in the home?
This is something which, let's say, an ongoing work. I mean, a lot of education need to be there, and we are responsible for that. But the thing is, the culture, it is like that. As you do mention, in one household, there are three generations, and there is somehow a pride from the children that they are still taking care of their parents, and their parents is actually living with them in the same household. So you asked me about the Indonesian, I can first of all mention first our facilities in Bali. We have two. First is the center of activities, meaning people is not living there. It open Monday to Friday, 9 to 4 p.m. And people come as for visit, like half day visit or full day visit.
Gotcha.
The other is Hovi assisted, where people literally living there with us 24/7. And we do have also respite care, meaning people come for 1 week, 2 weeks, or sometime a month. It's very interesting because on Hovi assisted Sabah, our assisted living facility, 90% of the clients are foreign nationals, expatriates, family, or the children who live overseas, but their parents actually here and getting old here in Bali. Yet in our center of activity, Hovi Club, 90% actually Indonesians. So you can say from there that they don't mind if the parents or the grandparents living for a day or half day and come back very happy, not lonely at home, but to leave their parents, grandparents on other people's hand, or no matter how reliable it is, how convincing, how trusting it is, I would say still there's a stigma. Sorry, I shouldn't say stigma, but somehow, like I mentioned earlier, um, it considered a pride to have your parents at home. But one thing that when I mentioned about education is that when you want to give the best quality of life for your parents or grandparents, when they are in the hand of professional, meaning their days are structured into the basic of physicality and their social rehabilitation or interaction, and also cognitive rehabilitation and all. It is even more empowering for them. Maybe that is something that they want to do other than be home and waiting for everybody to coming from works or schools or campus and all that. So yeah, I mean, we have to really position ourselves as a partner. It really seen on Hofi Club concept, because then the family will come in the morning and drop their grandparents or parents at our facility, and feeling relief because they can carry on with their
day. Mm-hmm.
obligation or days works and all that, and have peace of mind that they're on the good hand, their loved one are in good hands.
Yes, I find that to be a really distinct difference in culture. And here it is embraced, or there's such a trend, or trend is a strong word, but there is a significant caregiver burden. But the access for many to afford this type of even adult daycare, respite, or long-term care can be, for the type of quality that one would want for their older loved one, is exorbitant. I mean, you can look at 8,000 US to 12,000 a month for these facilities. So I find it to be very interesting because um, our cohort or generation of Americans would embrace the concept of dropping their loved ones off and making sure they're good and uh, not have, and a lot of segment of those population even would not even have that guilt, if you will, or would not consider it um, an injure on their pride of their care to, transfer their loved one to a
Yes.
facility. So that's a
Mm.
very key difference. You also mentioned that everything can be learned, right? So tell
Yes.
me what that looks like in terms of the culture of care. Do you find that your staff, your ancillary staff, your clinicians, do you find that there is a need for specific geriatric training, the approach to this clientele, et cetera? Has that been a difference or in terms of the learning curve? What has been your experience there?
I think what is unique about Hovi Care cooperation with Kasih Ibu Hospital Group is that the caregivers then are actually hired from the pool of registered nurses that the group has. And as you know, Bali is it is in the nature, their nature. Well, I'm Balinese myself. That we do care, care, and then patient
Yeah,
enough, willing to really taking care of not only our guests because Bali is like, as you know, is really tourism is very very big here, um, and being a registered nurse in Balinese or living in Bali for quite some time. Um, they have already the like
already ingrained.
tools,
Hmm.
yeah, ingrained
Hmm.
in that. That is one. And second, I mean, being Hovi Care being the, let's say, the franchise owner of these facilities, they have various tools that they provide for every newcomers of caregivers to learn from, especially, most of our clients are with dementia. Uh, Hovi Care have something called e-learning or Hovi Academy, where there's plenty of subjects of training available that can be also learned aside other than on the ground. So, and the structure also very clear. There's a center manager and there's lead nurse leading the handful of caregivers giving the care. It's not only assisted living, they really in charge also for their medication administration. And there's also an app called Nurse Buddy. It's another tool where all information about the clients will be stored there, everything, medical side, the cognitive level, the result of MMSA, then also the physical condition and all that. From there, once we know our clients like thoroughly, then a proper individual care plan can be put up for each of the client. So there are goals actually per client that everybody should understand, everybody know. So days will be planned and executed based on that.
Hmm.
So quite a lot of like knowledge transfer system coming from Finland to be applied in a facility in Bali. Um, but then you have this young, very gentle caregivers and very dedicated persons to carry on and execute the task. So it's a lot of combination between on the ground, how to really ensure that the clients are well taken care of, and how to do it systematically. And also all the works to record things, to report things, and then all the situation that we have to really work on. We call it behavior of challenge. Each of the clients, and because they are, again, a lot of them with dementia, to really figure out, we have a workshop how to care them better, because every clients have totally different character, and also behavior changing because of the dementia.
Absolutely. Attention healthcare professionals. Are you looking to enhance your skills and stay ahead in your field? Look no further than our ACCME accredited CME courses. Whether you're a doctor, physician assistant, or nurse practitioner, our courses are tailored to meet your needs. Why focus on geriatric education, you ask? Because regardless of your specialty, geriatric care is becoming increasingly essential. As our population ages, the demand for competent healthcare professionals in geriatrics is higher than ever before. We don't stop there. Our courses also empower caregivers to partner with you in the care of your patients. We believe that by fostering a strong partnership between healthcare clinicians and caregivers, we can provide the best possible care for our elderly population. So join our impactful caregiving community today. Sign up for our ACCME accredited course instruction and take the first step towards advancing your career and making a difference in the lives of your patients. Absolutely. So tell me the government's role in ensuring access for persons to these various stages in terms of the adult care, the respite, and the live-in, and the initiative that they are taking around the support of the elderly.
I have to say that at the moment, it is all private driven. I mean, the government is a bit lagging behind on this because maybe Indonesia is a very young country. Our population of elderly or seniors are still very small, let's say, compared with like United States, Europe, Japan, Australia, and all that. So I have to say it is really private driven, and the facility like what we have offered here, I would say, is very small amount. I think in the level of care that we are providing and the standard, for the moment, Hovi Care Bali is the only one providing this. So yeah, we still kind of hoping and waiting. And actually, last month there's a forum group discussion for the first time. We're very happy, invited by the Ministry of Investment, and also Health, and also Tourism. So they like get together and calling us up and ask us to join and tell them our thoughts of how things should go forward, because this is, I would say, very potential going forward to have proper facilities for elderly, not only for Indonesians, but for all seniors around the world, especially, for example, like Australia is very close by, and they really love to be in Bali, spending, until
Holiday, etc. Yeah.
holiday, etc. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I think from an international tourism perspective, if there is a way to communicate that message that, hey, you can bring your older adult person with, and we have these options available accordingly, I think that that is going to be a huge incentive for caregivers that want to support their aging loved ones, but also want to have their own respite while on holiday, but also to be able to provide enjoyment for the ones that they love. So I think that that is
Yes.
key as well. Tell me
Correct.
about the team. I'm very curious about the team as far as, we have activities directors, we have speech and language therapists, so many members, social workers, different members of the team here. You mentioned that the nurses are trained accordingly. Who are the other members of the healthcare team specifically involved on the premises?
On the promises, it's pretty simple and straightforward. In each of the unit or facility, you have a center manager, and then the lead nurse, and then the caregivers. So that's more or less the simple structure. And then all other area, for example, like the Hovi assisted, actually the facility is integrated with the hospital. So all
Mm,
the area, including like the cleaning and the recruitment and all that, is taken care of by the
accordingly.
company accordingly. So other than that, for example, like in Hovi Assisted, once a week we have a neurologist who will come over and visit each of the clients. But actually, on daily basis, if there's anything to be consulted and all, she's also available to give some recommendations or suggestion and all that. But one of the advantage of living at Hovi assisted, everything is so close within proximity. We are able to arrange every day because when we are getting older, health issues is something that need to be somehow
Addressed.
address a lot of time. So yeah, that's how simple structure is being put up in the unit. But then Hofika Finland, they have a program director and they have medical director as well. And there's also, of course, somebody who's in charge for marketing side, finance, and all that. So every 6 months we have this management retreat where all units coming over, of course, from Finland and then Singapore. It's always in Bali because people say, oh, well, why not in Bali? And we are
Yeah.
saying, why don't we go to Singapore? Why don't we go to Finland? But then we'll say, oh, can we please go to Bali again? Okay, so next month actually it is the second. In November, 1st
Uh-huh.
November is our second management retreat of the year. So yeah, again,
Very
Bali
nice.
team will prepare that. Yeah.
So, okay, so rounding the corner before I end our episode, I'd like to ask my favorite question, which is the food. Tell me
Oh,
how you merge the, oh my gosh, I can't imagine the beauty of the food and culture, but to, I guess, satisfy multiple palates, but also accommodate the nutritional needs and changes of the older adult person.
a very interesting question. It's always a challenge. Meaning the thing is, again, maybe in our facility like Hofi Club, where most of our clients are Indonesian, it's not many of these two. It's only one nation. I mean, Indonesia, national Indonesia. So actually, the group have catering company and who cater all clients at the hospitals. On the same time, they are also catering for Hofi care facilities. They always have challenges with us because we keep asking things, especially for those clients in Hovi assistance house, because they are coming from all different national. You're very right in saying how you cater to all different palates. We have European, French, Swiss, and we have Australian, American, British. So yeah, one thing for sure, it have to be bright. Meaning we're the only one who keep asking, can we have different menu now? I mean, every 2 weeks, people will say, I don't want to have the same thing again. That is one. Especially from the European point of view, I mean, French
Yeah.
client of ours, Swiss, they're very particular about food. So we have to keep learning and trying to, decide which kind of dishes that they would love. And on the same time, our nutritionists have to also, give her inputs.
A well
Um,
balance, right? Hmm.
exactly. So, that's, I think, the most dynamic thing
Yes.
of it. question. Thank you.
What's the most popular dish, and what is the unique dish to the area and culture?
In Indonesia, I mean,
Yes.
in Bali, what we
Yes.
have, well, for our, let's say, Indonesian clients here, they would love nasi goreng. It's the fried rice.
Okay.
It's a fried rice with
Okay.
chicken aside, and then also pretty simple, but it's pretty very delicious. And all about fish. They would love all about fish, especially those. This is Balinese dish, mujair nyat nyat. It is very difficult to provide that, but sometimes they will just like, oh, can it be ordered from the restaurant next door? Okay, so that is something that they would love to have. Very, lots of spices and all, but not too spicy. And for our European clients, chicken cordon bleu. That is something that everybody loves. And
Okay.
I think mushroom chicken stick. That's something they love, and all the fish. So yeah, I mean, again, food is something that we really, really have to pay attention on because it is the highlight of the day. And it's like, oh, lunchtime, oh, dinner time. We have to make sure.
Absolutely. And that speaks to the whole experience, I can imagine. Yes. Yes. So help me pronounce these two dishes again. The fried
Nasi
rice is nasi goreng.
Yes.
Nasi goreng.
Nasi goreng, fried rice.
Okay. And the other one, the mush.
Oh, that is difficult to pronounce. Mujair nyat nyat. It's Balinese word.
Okay. Muji